This is one of those modifications for the S4 that, one, I'm excited to see how it is. Two, I am curious to see what the install feels like when we're in the middle of it. Future Cam here. You have nothing to worry about, my friend. This went smoother than you thought. As always, you can grab all your parts from the links in the description. We have not one, but two sway bars for the S4. This is the Dynamic Plus front and rear kit from 034. Quick PSA, if you're in the market for an S4 and you want to grab this one that's at the sweet spot of mileage, price, has all the best mods, there's a link in the description to Jeremiah's website, Jumbo Motorsports. At the bottom of the page, there's an email sign up form. This will get you notified when the Cars and Bids auction goes live. No reserve. It's making sure you lock in that you don't miss out on this. If you want to see what it sells for, if you want to bid on it and possibly buy it, that is for you. I just wanted to let you know that that's there. Let's get back into the video. First things that come to mind. When I did the rear sway bar on the GTI, I remember prominently like, wow, this thing handles a lot better. It stays planted. The steering response is fantastic. But we are going to do the front and rear. The rear makes a big difference. Now, what does the sway bar do if you're new to working on cars? When one wheel gets, the travel goes up, it lifts the other with it. And so if you think when you're going around a corner and the outside wheel starts to suck up into the fender well, starts to go up, and then it lifts this one with it, because this is what keeps them attached and on the same plane. Essentially, it gets rid of body roll, so your car stays very planted to the ground. So as one wheel goes up, other one goes with it. And so normally when your car would be doing this, it kind of keeps it planted, which is huge. So when you have that front and rear, you're gonna expect a big difference, a firmer ride in the front. The steering response should be very, very satisfying. So as you're turning into corners, it's really responsive. It can be more forgiving, and you can wait till the last minute to turn, which is not ideal, but when you're not expecting it, it'll respond quicker. When you're planning for turning and it's more responsive, it just means you can be that much more sharp, that much more connected to the car. And I just think this is part of what makes this car a sleeper, and I'm all about it. I'm gonna take these out of the package, give you guys a close look. We have some end links that you'll see up close. Otherwise, we're gonna get the car on the lift and get to installing it so we can drive it and enjoy the fun. Something to keep in mind if you've never installed these before is one side is going to have reverse threads, because when this is installed on the car, you can use this right here to put a wrench on it to tighten or loosen it. And for that system to work where it pulls it closer together or longer, these have to be opposite. So I'm just putting these together for display reasons. What's cool about these for the rear sway bar is they have a zert fitting, so you can grease them after the fact, and it has a little hole where it passes through. Really nice billet piece, and it will keep that lubed up so you don't get any squeaking. Look at that. That's a beautiful piece. 034 went crazy with the branding on this kit, just so far above and beyond. I love those guys. Drop a comment down below to, even if you're not even an S4 or an Audi owner, or you don't even own a car yet, or you do, just drop a comment to show appreciation for how hard they go. You don't have to do all these things. Like, do they want to make sales? Yeah, anyone does, but I mean, stuff like this, all the way down to right here, the branding, the way everything is, the part numbers, etc. I mean, you gotta really, really love it. I think this is for the front. We'll find out. The zert fitting here, I mean, come on. That is just trick looking. They give you all the lube you need to get started. Then we got anti-seize for all of the ball joints. I'm gonna be doing the rear first, then Brandon might come over later to help me do the front. So I'm gonna get the links and I'm gonna get my anti-seize. I'm gonna get a rag handy. So it's good to have anti-seize on the section that goes into the actual link. You don't want these to seize up. They're adjustable. You want them to stay adjustable. Take that nut off, put my anti-seize on, run this nut on, and it will spread that anti-seize out evenly throughout the threads. It doesn't take much. You can see a little bit of brown on there. And screw it in to the actual link. And then we'll decide how long or short these are once we get the stock ones out. So that's just a little prep work. That one looks pretty good. While I'm here, I'm gonna take the links for the front and just get those doctored up. And then we'll move on to lubing up the bushings for the sway bars. I just got these anti-seized up. Now I'm gonna take each of these bushings with the super lube. Take some on my finger. Just do a nice coat. It's just a thin coat, nothing crazy. There's only one way to do it, and it's the right way. Stick this back in here. It's nice to get all this messy work done in advance so that when we're in the middle of the install, we don't have to stop and get greasy. Grab the smaller ones for the front. Here's the sway bar. Now, it seems to be that the exhaust is in the way, but I'm gonna find out for both of us if the exhaust needs to come out. My thought is, it's disconnected here, it's disconnected here, it's disconnected there, that I can lower it like this and we can ding, 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 slide it out and then slide the new one in, but we won't know until we try. So, these little plastic doohickeys, aerodynamics, need to come off. Those clips, I just pull them out. I'm gonna disconnect it from the link first. So we got 16 mil on both sides. A long bolt. It's a good day to have a power ratchet. I could force those bolts out, but I don't want to. So now, let's go for these where it's actually mounted. What size do we got? First try. This is a 6 mil. Save some energy. That thread sounded gross, but they look fine. My guess is these are the aftermarket hardware because this car already had a sway bar on it. This thing had some goodies on it before. Oh, there's just forward tension on it. That's why these came out rough. Nothing wrong with the threads. It's just a sway bar wanted to go that way. Now what I can do is push out this bolt. Disconnect it from the link. Push out this one. Now the question is, can I get it out without removing the exhaust? Sure seems like it wants to. Will it though? I bet if I just lowered the exhaust, I don't even have to fully disconnect it, it would. I really hoped for both of us. No, there ain't no way. Because it's gotta go out like this. It's gotta get lower. That means that I gotta disconnect the wire for this. Pretty sure this is one of those tabs where you gotta push it out and then down. I went ahead and just pulled this out so it has some slack instead of disconnecting it. And then this one up in this corner was really easy to get to. I should be able to lower this okay now. The mount is a 13. That's loose. Can I get that sway bar out now? Most definitely can. Let's go. Let me go get the other one. So we know this will fit. Let's go ahead and pull this out. Now I need to get these stock links out. I'm really appreciating the design on the suspension this go around for the S4 now that I'm older. As you can see, you've got the rear control arm, and in the middle of it is where the link mounts to. So I think that's cool. I haven't seen that before, at least noticed. That could work. This side. I need to get 2 wrenches to break it loose. Okay, that's loose. Let's make my life a little easier. So I'm gonna put this bolt through the bottom and then look where these holes lining up. Looks like it's a little, it's about close there. Let's go 2 full circles. Let's go 3 shorter because the car is lowered. Let's bring this nut up to here. Now we could take this back up into the car. This is gonna be snug, and then at the end I'll put some pressure on here and then we'll tighten these up, the ones up top. Repeat the process over here. Woo! If you haven't had lunch, you're gonna be lightheaded on that one like me. It's about there. 1, 2, 3 turns in. Put the locking nut up against it. Snug it up. All right, 1 end link is in. At the other end, that was not too bad. And then it will be need to held up. Held up. Can't even talk. I'm gonna go ahead and put grease inside here as well. I didn't do that inside. Got my rubber pieces here. You'll know it's the one for the rear because we got a flat side and it's the smaller ones. I'm gonna do both sides simultaneously. I'm gonna set that there. I'm gonna have dessert facing out so it's easier to get to. Slide this bolt through both. Push it up into place. Snug this up. We'll come back with the torque wrench. .28 Newton meters. All right, go to the other side. All right, 28 on both. Now I can throw a washer on here. This is the more aggressive option. If we want to go a little more flex, we'll go to this outer hole. We ain't gonna do that. Washer. So this locking nut up here, we're gonna snug both of those up. 19 mil, that's snug. Same thing over here. That's snug. What size is this? 17. Okay. I'm gonna start tightening this down until it spins in the center. Wow. Never spun. That's fantastic. It has an Allen head in the center, so you get an Allen key on it, and then you tighten it with something like this, but got lucky and it didn't move. Feel good about that. The only thing left is tightening up that one up there. I'm snugging them up, and then once there's weight on the car, I'll get underneath it and tighten it. All right, we're looking pretty good. This doesn't bother me that the sticker's upside down because I'll never see it, but if it does bother you, I don't think you have to worry about it. They'll get it fixed. I already told Sean I just got unlucky. Sway bars in, mounted. That's tight, this tight, that's tight. When I lower the car, I'll check the top ones where it mounts to the lower control arm. We're good to go. 16 millimeter wrenches disconnected the sway bar on both links. We still got to do the link from above because we're going to replace that whole link. These are 13 millimeters right here. I took out this 13 millimeter bolt and here and those 2 nuts. Now I need to figure out how do I create a gap here to get that bar out. So I'm going to take my pole jack or floor jack if you're on the ground. Just leave that there. Start taking things out. 14 mil triple square. Oh boy, that is really tight. Those triple squares barely fit. I really gotta get that one out. Oh, nothing like some big power. Save the day. Okay, that's a pretty long bolt. It's also screwed in back here. Get this other triple square. Long bolts that work in your favor. Oh. Okay, something's still holding it up. It's these size. 18. Dropped a little bit. I need to pull these out. Okay, I'm getting a little bit of wiggle. Not nearly enough. Okay, I gotta drop the rest of the subframe, so I'm gonna take these off and the triple square up here. Okay, that's falling. Get the weight off. Okay, that seems like we're getting a lot of movement. I can take these off. This will make life easier. Looks like these bolts right here are holding us up. Okay, just one bolt at a time. So close. Okay, are we there yet? I'm just dancing with this subframe. I gotta pull them all out. Now it's just these 18s. Pulling this down. Ah, that's not bad. And I can just fish this one up in here. Voila, all in place. All right, well, I'm gonna support this in the steering just a smidge. Just get these links out, 16s. Getting the new end links set up. So what I'm gonna do, locking nuts on the furthest point, and then I'm gonna thread this in as far as I can, as well as this one. I'm gonna go to my factory one, stick this through, and then I need to get these distances so they're about the same. So I'm gonna twist this to keep even threads on both sides. It's looking, could be close. Take a bolt, just look at it, be like, yeah, it's pretty centered. I can see this looks good, but this looks a little not straight. That's not very happy either. That looks pretty good. So then I like this here. So now I'm gonna take those locking nuts and suck them up to the actual middle piece to hold its relative position. Then I could slide this up in there. We'll come back to that because this needs to go way up. Factory nut on the back side. Okay, that's just snug, that'll work for now. Repeat on the other side so that we can get on the sway bar. All right, can't forget to get some grease up in here. Let's get these on the sway bar. All right, I'm gonna get my pieces of rubber, zert facing down. Push this into place. I'm gonna put one nut on. Okay, that'll hold. Go to the other side. So 13 mil. Got my other 13. Extension. That's good. Maybe this needs to stay loose. Maneuvering and manhandling this right here, I got that in. Let's see if I can do it on this side. There we go. Okay, washer and nut. Cool beans. Okay, so the new nut is a 17. See, this one's just spinning. Get this on here. Stick a 5mm Allen key in here. Okay. Now I can hold it while I tighten it. This is a lock washer with nylon, so it'll stay on. Now I'm gonna go up top with 16s. Those lock nuts are 19 mil. It's a really tight space, but you can get to them. Okay, snug. Now I just need to get these 13s. Now I just raise this and try and slowly line everything back up. I'm a little off. I'm gonna try and get these in. Okay, that's lining up. So I went furthest back, furthest front. So far, so good. Now it's a matter of getting the steering rack in place. Oh, not bad. The triple squares are the steering rack. I just did something you shouldn't do, and it's snug up one too tight. All right, get the 18s. It's not fighting it, my battery is low. Super low. That 13 mil is tight, these two 13s are tight, that link is tight, that link is tight, both triple squares are tight, that 18's tight, that 18's tight, that 18's tight, that 18's tight, that triple square is tight, those two are tight, that triple square is tight, those triple squares are tight, that 18's tight, that 18's tight, those 13s are tight, that's tight, that's tight. We're in business. All by myself? Brandon, where you at? Nah, Brandon was supposed to come over. He must be busy, but his mindset of just start taking stuff apart, figure it out. That is what drove me to keep going and get this done. Just got the belly pan back on. Now I can throw the wheels on and we can go drive, the fun part. First time in the canyons with the S4, and we have all the nice 034 mods on. We're in comfort mode right now. We're driving with 2 feet. We're left foot braking. I'm gonna kick it into dynamic and let this automatic transmission do its thing. We're gonna get a lot of exhaust noises. This thing really rotates now. And I'm excited to feel this front sway bar. The rear sway bar is the big difference, but the front can also be dramatically helpful. And this car is just a different animal right now compared to when I first got it. You can just feel how easy it is to really just flow through these corners. Brake hard, turn in. Let the car rotate around the corner. Haven't felt any under or oversteer yet, but I'm not pushing it too hard, braking early. There's so much power there on E85, it's crazy. Okay, I don't like how that shifting is there. My phone is going all over the place, so let's put it somewhere safe. I'm gonna kick it into manual mode. Got the Urus paddles. I don't mind driving it in a higher gear. I don't need... I'm still getting my confidence driving this car out here. Man, it turns. This is a heavy car to be throwing around, but it does feel light on its feet. Brakes work good, slowing down. I'm not out here to break any records or stress anybody out or run people off the road. Just out here to test the car and see what it flows like. And this thing is so easy to drive through here. And I'm so comfortable right now with the AC on. All right, this is the corner I hate here, especially on the way back. It's a dangerous one. When you're braking out here, if you're new to driving, you want to hit the brakes hard and then let off of them. You don't want to ride them down a hill, all the above, because because you just want them to heat up and then have a chance to cool off and go around the corner, not on the brakes. You'll reduce brake fade tremendously. Like, I have this car way too high of an RPM. The power band is just right 3,000 to 5,000 RPM. I can just cruise here. We're going downhill a lot. I'm having a blast right now. I can really get on it here, but I don't need to. I think I'm just liking the noises. We'll just flow a little bit now. Let's go windows down. Let's go cracked, because it is a lot of wind in the mic. Oh, that's a cop. Good thing I slowed down. Huh. This car rotates now. That is awesome. I'm paying attention for the front end to start to shovel, and the strong shifts of the stage 2 tune from 034. There's a better spot for the windows down, but it's just fun. And it just digs in each shift. Makes this car have a lot of personality, which is nice, because factory, it's as smooth as can be, and that's obviously the goal from factory, but for us enthusiasts, it's fun to have a little bit more of a feel. When we get to the bottom of this hill, we'll roll the windows down. Get some noises here. Hope you can hear all that intake turbo noises. It's so satisfying. This is the 034 downpipe with the stock catback, if you're new here. This area is pretty hot, so I'm going to drive a little more timid today. This is a really tight corner. Let's see what this has got for us. No braking. Wow, that car rotates around that compared to before. I could have carried a lot more speed. Another fun section out here once you get past the boat ramps. Can the S4 feel like a sports car just as much as it feels like a luxury car? So far, I think so. I could hang with anyone in this thing. And if I need to put power down in a straight line, I totally can. And it's really quick, especially on E85. If you like the sway bars, you're gonna like this video even more right here of us installing the downpipe to make this thing a little faster, have a little more fun, and make it sound better. Here's some turbo noises. We'll see you over there.